For your health, we're talking feet today. April is Foot Health Awareness Month, and today our health expert, Karen Owoc, is here to explain why your foot health is so very important. So nice to see you here,
Nice
Karen.
to see you too. I did check out your shoes before I...
Yes, you did, because we are going to be getting very hands-on today with the demos. So, first of all, walk us through why it's so important that we talk about the health of our feet.
The health of our feet. And a lot of people don't think about it when we think about longevity. So foot mobility is when you lose the mobility in your feet, you actually literally lose the foundation of your balance, your ability to move, and your ability to kind of stand upright. So very important that we talk about the feet today.
Right.
So I brought my friend here.
Does the friend have a name?
I should name it. So this is how intricate the foot is.
Okay.
It has 26 bones. So between the 2 feet combined, that's 52 bones. And that is 1/4 of all the bones in your entire body.
Wow, okay.
So it's does a lot of work, and it has 33 different joints, as well as over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments, and over 7,000 nerve endings. So your
Just
feet,
in the foot.
yes, were feet to work. So they were meant to work. So first of all the sensory information you get from your feet goes up to your brain.
Right.
And it's telling you how to move and where your feet are in space. It also takes all the shock from your body whenever you're jumping and landing, and it's taking the shock of your weight. So we have to take care of our feet.
Yeah, absolutely. Something that we really do take for granted, so many of us.
We do, we do. And whenever one of my patients says, I have knee pain, hip pain, low back pain, I always look at the feet, because it all starts down there first,
Very interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
So when you walk, so here's my other little friend here. When you walk,
I won't ask you about the name for this. Pinky and I don't know.
You take a step, and then you flatten the foot, and then you push off the toes. 40% of their weight bearing is taken up by the toes, and especially the big toe. So the big toe does a lot of work. Now, when you have some heels on.
I have some heels
They're not
on,
yeah. So it's very important that these toes have to move. So if they are tight inside a little shoe, it's not going to be able to move very well.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so like after a day in heels, it's a good idea to kind of put your fingers in between the toes and really spread them apart.
That's a good idea, because you know what? I happen to have wider feet, and so even with a lot of women, the shoes are just the fronts, they just taper in, and so it's tough for me to wear those types of shoes even. So
especially, and if you can walk barefoot at home, that's a great idea. There's also these little toeless socks so that your feet could be free, but there's a little gripper on the bottom.
My mom loves those, the grip on the bottom of the socks.
Yeah, and to have your feet free. Also, they have the little toe socks that has the little toes on it too.
Right. And then the grips help prevent slipping too, which is so important.
Right, exactly. So one of the things that you can do, and I use this as an assessment, is that I ask my patients to stand up on their toes.
Okay.
And some people can't even stand more than maybe an inch off the floor.
Because of pain, or?
Because the toes are very stiff, or the ankle is very stiff. You really need a very flexible ankle to walk. You're doing this. So what I recommend, so you should be able to raise your heel
and place it on top of like a tennis ball.
You should be able to fit a tennis ball under your foot if you're coming up all the way the way you should. So that will take practice if you can't. Now, one of the things I like to do is massage the foot, because that will help loosen things up. It will help increase blood flow. So what I'm going to have you do is take this ball, it's a lacrosse ball actually, and place it under your foot. So see all the muscles and the tendons here? You're going to roll that ball from the big toe all the way down the arch to the heel, and really put some pressure on it.
Okay.
And you might feel some knots or some trigger points.
You know, that actually feels surprisingly good.
Yeah, It hurts good.
It actually feels really good. And you don't realize how many little muscles you have in your foot or how tight they are, what knots you have until you actually do this exercise. So
yes.
I'm kind of pleasantly surprised, actually.
Yes, and this is a good, you're standing and doing it. You could also sit down and do it because then you can put even more pressure on those areas. Go work all the way down from big toe to the heel and just keep working your way all the way through those. There are even more muscles under this. Right. So it's very, very vascular and lots of musculature in your foot.
Oh, that's fascinating.
So that's called, it's kind of like self-myofascial release, which is a fancy word for self-massage with a ball.
All right, there we go. And what other ways can people help improve their mobility?
To grip marbles, get 20 marbles and grip them with your toes one at a time and put them in a little bowl. So it's really working on the muscles in your toes.
So try to pick up the marbles with your toes.
With your toe, put it in, and once you get 20, then do the other side. Okay. So you really need, it's really important to have that flexibility and mobility in your toes.
So here's the thing. I know some people, their toes aren't exactly, they can't pick things up with their toes. I don't think that they were just born that way.
So they might, they would really benefit by standing on the tip of a stair and really start doing some heel raises. And really working that out. And maybe they might need a bigger marble for if their toes are really stiff. But
all right. Well, very helpful tips as always from our health expert Karen Owoc. So lovely to see you this morning.
Nice to see you too.
All right, well, we will be right back.